天呢，我要跟大家介绍 Mike and Joanna. Mike, he is an
artist and also an antique dealer.
And Joanna?
I'm a photographer.
They built this house themselves. So I think one of the best things we could do is to open the wine now and have a drink, and then we do the house tour. Shall we open the bottle?
Yes.
Do you have a tire-bouchon? I've never tried to use this, so maybe you can show us.
Go on the table. Basically, you just put this part here.
Yeah.
Inside the cork, c'est ça, le liège?
Yeah.
Okay, and after, you have just to turn.
It looks like an elevator.
Yeah.
Where you found this?
It was the gift for my birthday, some old one like this.
Look at that! So we're gonna first taste this wine. One of my favorite is from the region. It's a Côte-du-Rhône white. Normally, what we taste, what we see most often is Côte-du-Rhône red. So white is kind of rare. You got only less than 10% of production is white wine. This is one of my favorite. Do you smell it?
Yeah, already smell.
That's why the wine itself called bloom. What does it mean of bloom?
Bloom, it's really when the flower opens. In this sense, is the aroma that comes out of the bottle. Cheers! You have to look in the eyes
Yes.
in France.
If not, what happens?
Bad luck.
It's organic wine.
That's the spring with a lot of flower.
Peach and poire. But this one I like it because it's very fresh and you have nice perfume, but also very natural. You feel like you're overwhelmed by it, but comfortably. Yeah.
And it's quite, yes, it's sort of light and a little bit full-bodied at the same time.
Yes.
Which I quite like in my wines.
Yeah.
Especially the red ones.
So then we'll do the house tour with a nice glass of wine.
Well, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Please show us around this house.
I think we have to start with the doors. I guess it was sort of the starting point of how we were going to build the house. Although it's a modern build, we tried to reuse reclaimed materials.
And small important details, we have the key because it's not so easy to find all doors with the key. So we have already the key from the doors. So they are complete. The friend who bought the door say, I give you the key first. If you lose the key, that's not my fault.
I really love the squirrel. Is it a real squirrel?
Yes.
It's a real one.
Yes, it's a real one, and real birds and the bee nest, and you are going to see there is a lot of strange things in this studio.
It's like treasure hunt in this house. And I found something beautiful here.
I like to collect textiles. I use a lot of them as well for my work, and they make great backgrounds. So that's why I have collections, papers, botanical books.
Sometimes it's very small thing, but it's very beautiful and
It's
sensible. It's a shoes from a wedding. You have the name.
1848.
Yeah, you have the name of the lady, the name of her husband. She wear once, only for the wedding. That's very simple, but that's very lovely. So that's another part. That's part of my work. It's called in Français diorama. It's box with 3D inside. And also I'm creating with the old paper, the shoes, or you are going to see more after the skull. I really love the whole paper. You can do a lot of beautiful things with the paper.
That's beautiful. I see something over there as well, more collections.
That's really the cabinet de curiosité en français, or you mix different things. Strange object, books, classical object, creepy object like this, to create something like this called the cabinet de curiosité.
And can we really read these books?
Yes, they are perfectly in good condition.
Really?
Yes.
1816. I feel like in a museum.
You can see nobody read this book because
It's
you
not
have
opened.
Yes, you have to cut each page to read the book.
Yeah. You know, nowadays in France, sometimes they still do books in this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was the fashion way to make the book before, and now they redo this.
I mean, we have some that have, this one is what they call the dominoté paper. So it's a really old way of printing, stamping. It's like a stamp.
Normally, how do you know what you want to find or collect?
I don't think you know until you find it. I think you have to be inspired when you're going to the market. I mean, it's quite hard at the moment to find something exceptional, but we're quite good, especially Mike, of finding things in bins and in small little markets.
I've got her eyes.
One advice is always to buy what you like rather than buying because you think someone might like it.
Il faut trouver une forme de poésie parce que quand tu regardes ce genre d'objet, ça a été écrit, le propriétaire a écrit à la main François Chenot 1839. That's really simple, but it's a part of story. It's really a part of life, these small books like this. D'après toi, c'est quoi l'objet le plus vieux ici sur cette table?
Moi?
Ici, ouais. Qu'est-ce que tu dirais?
For me, what is the oldest object?
Il y en a un qui est beaucoup plus vieux que les autres.
It should be the crust, no?
They were outside for a long time, so it's in bad condition.
Otherwise, I think should be these.
Well done.
One.
Ces deux candélabres sont époque Louis XVI. Donc ça c'est 1750, 1780 à peu près.
Then how do you know that this is from Louis XVI?
That's with the time, with all these classic form, and you can feel the wood, you can feel the condition and the style. This one we are sure because that's coming from a castle, a big castle, and they have only really nice stuff inside.
So you not only have to open your eyes, you have to know a little bit of story behind.
Yes, and you have to really see the object to have a real opinion. Yeah.
What is the beauty in your eyes?
Yeah, it's not the classical way of the beauty because in the same time beauty can be something like this. That's already, how you can say, in a bad condition or already old and tired. It's not perfect, but imperfection, that's a part of the beauty. Each object has a different story, so that's really interesting and beautiful too to have the story.
Because these are an interesting story, Mike.
It was the box created by the nuns. They create the box, they paint the box, and it was maybe the only object they have.
During the time, this only thing they have.
Really, because they don't have to.
Yeah, don't have much stuff.
No, they don't have to have the right to have stuff finally.
But what do they put inside?
It was to put the small things they can have, the thing pour faire la couture, pour faire le tricot, pour faire les petites choses comme ça, des petits objets personnels. Donc elle faisait les boîtes et elle peignait leurs boîtes après pour faire des petites boîtes un petit peu jolies.
Oh, yes,
et ça c'est 18e siècle.
18th century painted boxes.
But it's crazy, they still stay the colors.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that we might keep one and we'll sell the rest. But before that, I'll try and photograph.
So if I want to buy, I can contact you.
You can contact it. Exactly.
I suppose you don't sleep here. So we will see where you live.
Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome.
Oh, it's amazing. Every time when I come here, it changes.
I know, I imagine it has changed a little bit since you were here.
Yes.
So we've decided to create an open space. So not only that we can receive people and there's a connection between one and the other.
Yeah.
The kitchen area, which is not quite finished, but it's an organic process, in fact. As you know, it kind of moves as we go. Well, the idea was that cooking in front of people.
Yeah, it's like a show, you know? You cook, have a glass of wine, enjoy the time.
You know this one maybe? That's inside the cuve à vin. Ça c'est les carreaux qui étaient dans les grandes cuves à vin avant bétonnées.
Wow.
This is a really interesting piece. This would have been outside and they would have heated to keep the food warm.
A lot of people want to have this. It was a very small market in the small village. So c'est le marché approvisionnement local. Mercurial, that means the mercredi. It was also one by weeks. Each week they put the price of the different fruit or vegetable.
Qu'est-ce que Mistral?
Mistral, ce sont des haricots.
Ouais.
So tu as the white, the beans white, the beans red, the green fine, the green flat. Mistral, it's a kind of green bean from here. Phoenix, it's another one.
It's all the beans, beans collection.
The price can change each weeks, so you have to write the new price all the time.
Like a stock market, like a Wall Street, the price changes.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Moving around here is really the sitting area.
So we create this kind, we don't really love the couch, so we create more, it's like a day bed or something to make the sieste. It's really like a small bed around the books. And it's really create sur mesure. And you ask me for something.
What?
And is
Oh my god!
here.
Is it real?
It's a real one, of course.
Do you know this guy?
I don't know these guys, no. We have the story, but we really don't know the guys.
I think I've had it for like, well, at least 14, 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so creepy to some, but we like it.
You can see also this really thing from the Cabinet de Curiosité. That's a seed, really big seed from Australia. That's really the classical thing. When you, it was in the 18th and 19th century in the museum. They have all this kind of thing, of course, to the people to see all the things around the world. It was the only way to see that. And so I still love that. It's still life en anglais et nature morte en français.
This is a particular, we love this painting, which is completely destroyed. And then Mike's little touch of an artist is putting in the little pearl eye drop. So it's like she's crying.
Yeah.
So that's a Mikey Mike touch. This is the toilet that everyone can use. It's like a sort of porte-fenêtre, as they call it in French. And then just to give a little bit more privacy, Mike has put in these wonderful pictures. And that's a great way of using recycled materials.
This house is pretty eco-friendly, like many.
Finally, because we're trying, the floor is recycled, the door are recycled, the kitchen is almost recycled. We try to use as much as possible old sink, because everything is already here, everything is already produced. If you're looking for a sink, there is so many old sink.
Yeah.
Finally, it's easy to find one beautiful, and the quality is very better.
Everything we have in the house is sort of windows, so everything we've done is with an eye of a photographer. So everything has a view and everything you can see, and it brings light in. And then not quite finished, but again, we love old, well, especially Mike, you know, and we haven't touched this at all, but this is sort of like corrugated iron, which is used in farming. This bath, which, did you find it on?
Online, it's called Le Bon Coin.
Le Bon Coin.
I love Le Bon Coin.
Me too.
I do treasure hunting on the Bon Coin.
Yeah.
So again, the floors, which is railway, they're basically the old trains, the floors in the trains, not on the rails, but in the trains, in the old carriages.
Provence.
For us, it's kind of like having this door, which opens up into nature.
I really love the definition of luxury you have. I totally agree with you. This is amazing. I love that. After the room tours, I realized even more that why we become friends, because we share a lot of similar values or lifestyles. That's also the reason why I started to work in wine industries, because I work only with winemakers from smaller producers, from the locals, and work in organic, very natural way, who respect the environment, which is very important for me. And the second thing is this winery, they work with all the artists from the regions. They work with them to make the labels according to the taste of the wine. And then you can a lot of stories behind it. Because I think nowadays most of the time we focus on big regions of wine regions, like big domains or famous one. But I think a lot more winemakers from the regions, they have a lot of stories to tell.
Something between really people.
Yeah, people.
From the small vigneron with the village, with the community. So it's not the big company. And the human is very in the middle of each produce and each story.
So that's why I want that when you taste the wine, not only the wine itself, you can read the stories, both from the labels and the taste itself.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here. Cheers!
Cheers!
Santé.
Santé!